Good evening and welcome to this special edition of The Unexplained. I'm Darren Dito. We're reporting tonight from the Sloss Furnace Plant in Birmingham, Alabama, a place supposedly haunted by lots of ghosts. The only 20th century blast furnace of its kind in the world happens to be the spot for tomorrow night's ultra-scary Unexplained report on NewsChannel 12 at 10. But with tonight being Halloween, we've decided to take a look back at some of the most frightening places we've visited right here in the Southeast over the last year. From Vicksburg to Natchez to St. Francisville, Louisiana, the Unexplained team has gone in search of ghosts and things that go bump in the night. And this evening, we're going to relive those moments with you once again. So if you get scared easily, make sure you leave the lights on and keep that special someone near you. Get ready for a special 30-minute edition of Unexplained Haunts.
I think this is where the ghost is.
I saw something pass right behind his back.
This is where some of the bloody fighting took place.
You hear that? Something's on the roof.
The history in this town, there has to be ghosts. You hear it creeping?
When we come back, we're heading to Meridian, Mississippi in the haunted Marihope Mansion when Unexplained Haunts continues. Travel east of Jackson and you'll be heading towards Meridian, Mississippi. During the Civil War, Northern troops burned many of the beautiful antebellum homes to the ground, but one was spared, the Marihope Mansion. The Unexplained team spent the night at Marihope and experienced things that are truly unexplained. The fear is real.
Something's on the roof.
I hear it. It's like something's walking on the roof.
You only hear him walking, heavy steps of the second story and the slamming of doors.
Yes, that's what woke me up.
A night at Marihope is full of ghostly surprises. This beautiful antebellum home in Meridian has two ghosts. The female spirit is Eugenia Gary. She died before her family moved into the mansion. Her spirit appeared after her portrait was hung on this wall in the early 70s.
You know, from the light of the candle, that it was a female figure looking out the window.
We set up surveillance in her room. We can't find her, but possibly hear her as we record some strange noises.
That's really bizarre.
Her phantom partner is named Marcus. He committed suicide in this room during the 20s. Marcus was very vocal during our night at Marihope. We recorded these sounds in 3 different rooms. Shelba Strange lived in the house for a year and heard Marcus nightly.
The bedroom was underneath here, and this is where I would hear his footsteps and these doors shutting, slamming. And you would come up here and the doors wouldn't be shut.
Ghost author Sylvia Hubbard has written about Marihope. On this night, she is confronted on the stairs.
It was just a very strange feeling. It was like someone passed us, and you could just feel the wind moving when he passed. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Late in the evening, we all crashed downstairs for a short nap. Our sleep is disrupted. We go upstairs to investigate and discover an eerie sound.
That can't be wrong. There's no way.
No, there's something on the roof.
Heavy footsteps pound above us. We race outside for clues.
It's pretty weird. Started talking to the portrait, and then all of a sudden the banging started again on the ceiling. Come out here to check it out.
How would you even get up there?
We can't find the culprit. Our experience remains unexplained. After a night at Marihope, we determined this home is not only beautiful, but very haunted. The Marihope Mansion is open to the public if you would like to see it and maybe encounter Eugenia or the ghost of Marcus. When we come back, it's a trip back in time to encounter the Civil War ghosts of Vicksburg. Stay close. Welcome back. Another area that's rich in Civil War history and ghosts is the river city of Vicksburg. During the siege of Vicksburg, thousands of soldiers lost their lives, and now many of those spirits still call the battlefield home. Union and Confederate soldiers battled for control of the Mississippi on the bloody fields in Vicksburg. Over 100 years later, the soldiers are gone, but their presence is still felt at the Texas War Memorial at the Vicksburg National Military Park. For some people, the spiritual energy can be frightening.
That we just couldn't move. And, you know, it's hard to breathe. It was terrifying.
Ghost hunter Janice Raley has done lots of research at the Texas Monument. Her scariest moments didn't involve seeing a ghostly soldier, but a strange black dog.
And he started disappearing piece by piece, starting at the back end. And the last thing to go were these two eyes that turned into, looked like red orbs, and they just went in opposite directions and flew off. It was very strange.
We investigated the monument with Janice. Armed with digital cameras, voice-activated recorders, and other devices, we searched for spirits.
Always take pictures of like the metal signs, the can, everything, just to see if anything's going to bounce back.
The air is heavy. I have trouble breathing. Webmaster Rick Garner reports a tingly sensation. The monument seems active. Photographer Rob Ruffin reports a strange mist coming from the cannon's mouth. On an earlier trip, Janice had her own amazing sighting at the cannon.
There's a white vortex, which looks like a tornado, coming right out of the mouth of the cannon. And that, to me, that's the most intense energy that we've ever encountered, is a vortex. That's the most concentrated.
When the sun goes down, the activity turns visual.
Wow, there's like one right there, there's one right there, right there, right there,
Wow.
right there, right there.
Orbs, the mysterious forms of energy, start popping up everywhere. We captured them in these digital photos around the statue at the memorial. Also, behind the memorial, a single orb is exposed in the tree line. Union and Confederate soldiers engaged in very brutal fighting during the Vicksburg campaign. Their spirits still seem to call the battlefield home.
Wow.
Did you see that? Is that a bug?
Oh my God.
Could this be ghostly activity caught on video? Are these strange circles spirits from another world?
Oh, whoa, 97. Whoa.
Did a ghost change the temperature in this room by over 100 degrees? Some people say the river city of Vicksburg is a hotbed of paranormal activity. One of the most famous sites, Vicksburg's National Military Park.
I haven't been out here with equipment at night. And since we're so close and everything was happening and everything's, you know, up to a fever pitch right now, it's perfect.
Thanks to the National Park Service, NewsChannel 12 was given unprecedented access to the park in the middle of the night. Armed with night vision digital cameras, temperature gauges, and electromagnetic meters, we conducted numerous investigations.
This is where some of the bloodiest fighting took place.
Park Ranger Rick Martin was our personal guide for the night. He's worked at the park for the last 4 years.
I've been here at all hours of the night, all hours of the day. As I said, I've slept in the park at night, you know, out in the field, and I've never seen or heard anything unusual except, you know, some of the critters that are out there.
We hope to show Rick something unexplained.
Sayers approach to me. I've had several different things happen there, and they're usually between now and the 4th of July when Vicksburg surrendered.
Thayer's approach was the site of several casualties during the siege of Vicksburg. We snapped digital photos of the darkness and captured several orbs. Ghost researchers believe these unusual circles represent energy and maybe spirits. In this pitch dark tunnel, I roll video and record something that's hard to explain.
Oh my God, you just gotta, look at this.
Are those bugs or are those orbs?
No, they can't be bugs and leave that.
Okay, something there was a bit, something popped up right here, right in front of us.
Got it.
Oh
my God.
my God, those aren't bugs though.
No. Look at this. I'm looking. We're getting ectoplasm on film.
As you heard, Janice believes the lights are ectoplasmic mist, a form of supernatural energy. We cannot say without a doubt that these streaking lights might be bugs.
Yeah, it could have been bugs.
Not a couple of them.
We head across town to the McRaven Mansion. Strange activity is a daily occurrence. Many years ago, Mary Elizabeth Howard died in this room where we are filming. It seems that her spirit remains there today.
127, 28.
And it jumped in like 2 seconds, 100 degrees up and down, which is not really possible.
Gone over 76.
Outside the McRaven Mansion, brutal fighting took place during the Civil War. Check out these strange images Janice captured. More orbs and ectoplasmic mist. It was back in May that we snapped this amazing image of what looks like an apparition at 14 Mile Creek. After seeing this, ghost hunter Janice Raley wanted to conduct an experiment to find this ghostly figure again. The Civil War reenactors went down into the creek where several 19th century soldiers were killed. Some paranormal researchers believe recreating a scene from the past can bring the real soldiers back. We did capture some strange images among the 21st century soldiers. After walking the battlefields of Vicksburg at night and experiencing strange phenomena at McRaven and 14 Mile Creek, it seems some things in the universe will remain unexplained. To brush up on your Civil War history, the McRaven Mansion and the National Military Park are great places to start. When we return, come for the prime rib, stay for the ghosts at the King's Tavern in Natchez, Mississippi, and is this an apparition caught on film? The answer when Unexplained Haunts continues. The King's Tavern is one of the oldest and spookiest buildings in the state of Mississippi. The ghost of Madeline was quite a trickster on our night at the King's Tavern. And you've got to see this image that we captured on film at 14 Mile Creek in Raymond, Mississippi. Is it a real ghost? We'll let you decide. Frightening things happen at the King's Tavern on a full moon.
Constantly hear footsteps. You can sit in here and I know it's footsteps.
Whoa! Spirits can play havoc with equipment.
You hear that? Listen to that.
Could that be from appliances downstairs?
No, I'm not pointing at anything.
Sometimes the ghosts want to remain unseen.
Lost picture again with the AC back.
So what?
That never happens.
The King's Tavern in Natchez has its share of ghost stories. Built in 1789, it's been a trading post and a restaurant. Several people died there violently, and now their restless spirits wander its rooms.
And came out of the restroom and felt someone looking at me. I turned around and looked, and the man, a tall man, was standing in the back of the room. Just like that, he was gone.
You can feel energy. You can feel a hair on the back of your neck stand up. It'll be really hard to breathe sometimes.
The most famous ghost at King's Tavern is Madeline. She had an affair with Richard King, the tavern's builder. Legend says King's wife murdered her in a jealous rage. We set up surveillance throughout the building in our quest to uncover the supernatural. But Madeline has other plans.
Wait, hold on. What happened? Wait a minute.
His battery was fully charged when he put it up there, and now it's dead.
That was full. And then when I went downstairs, the picture dropped away, and now the battery's dead.
Ghost researchers say a loss of camera battery power can be attributed to high forms of energy, possibly ghosts in the room. Downstairs, we have some luck. In this room, we measure for energy and hit pay dirt. Our Gauss meter fires off electrical magnetic readings indicating paranormal activity.
That is always going like crazy.
I wander through Madeline's room and feel that I'm not alone. A temperature gauge signals spirits are near.
I was kind of thinking about discarding that piece of equipment, and it did. And it had to register a 20-degree drop very rapidly for it to go off.
We venture outside the tavern. Janice snaps this digital photo. A strange orb is spotted outside Madeline's room. Orbs are forms of energy that frequent haunted sites. Back inside the house, you can see orbs are trickling down the stairs. Over the course of our investigation at the King's Tavern, we experienced lots of unexplained phenomenon. The temperature dropped 20 degrees, a possible sign of a present spirit. Also, we had serious equipment failure. The unexplained energy drained our camera's batteries. And we captured several orbs inside and outside the tavern with our digital cameras. It would have been great to see Madeline, but she remained hidden in the shadows of the night.
One of them actually said the creek turned red, crimson with blood.
One in the jury room on the underneath side has several stains, and it appears to them to be blood stains.
Like I said, after 138 years, there's ghosts all over this town. With the history in this town, there has to be ghosts.
Travel south down Highway 18 and you'll find the charming town of Raymond. On the grounds of the Hinds County Courthouse, the majestic building has survived time and a Civil War battle.
After the Battle of Raymond, there were arms and legs in a big pile out behind the Episcopal Church.
From the battlefield, wounded Confederate soldiers were brought to the courthouse. Union soldiers across the street at the church.
You know, when you consider the number of men that probably died in this very room, I'm not saying there is or there isn't, but a lot of history in this building and in this room right here.
History like bloodstains on tables where fallen soldiers' wounds were mended. We placed cameras in various spots of the courthouse. Take a listen to what was recorded in a completely empty courthouse.
When they were building this new road over here, this is the old road, they were excavating for the old new road, and as they were digging, they came up with all kinds of buttons and uniforms and soldiers who had been buried. They actually dug up many of the old bodies.
Are ghosts hiding on these riverbanks? Check out these digital images we captured. This one appears to be an apparition. These streaks of light darted in the darkness, and orbs were spotted multiple times.
They were all somebody's husband, somebody's father, somebody's son. They were all somebody's darling.
This field became the final resting place for many Confederate soldiers. Unfortunately, Civil War sites in Raymond are facing a crisis.
We just hope that we can do our part in preserving the Raymond battlefield. It is listed as one of the 10 most endangered battlefields of the Civil War.
We uncovered some unexplained things while learning about Raymond's past. It all adds to the mystery behind this small community. If you're courageous enough, Madeline's room can be rented for the night. And as far as that image captured at 14 Mile Creek, we don't know what or who it is. When we come back, the Unexplained team spends the night in the most haunted house in America, the Myrtles Plantation. Our final destination tonight is the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, the most haunted house in America. We mustered up the courage to spend the night at the Myrtles, and what we heard and saw might surprise you.
You often would hear your name called when no one else was in the house.
And it just very slowly lit back up. And you can see the dimmer, the little switch going up.
All of these old plantation homes have spirits. They'll let you know that they're there, and if they like you, you'll stay, and if not, you won't.
According to the Smithsonian, the Myrtles Plantation is the most haunted house in America. The home, which is now converted into a bed and breakfast, is built on an Indian burial ground and has witnessed 10 murders.
We've had people asked to change rooms in the middle of the night, to go to one of the rooms on the outside of the house. In the morning, they don't really want to talk about what happened.
We brought our cameras and a strong set of nerves to brave a night at the Myrtles. We set up surveillance in several rooms. Early on, I tested the myth about sleep-disrupting spirits.
Test to see if someone actually tucks me in.
I remember something touching my hand twice while I slept. Was it a ghost? Well, it's hard to say. But after leaving the room for a minute, I was shocked with my discovery.
The bed looked like it was messy, and now someone's pulled the sheets up, and I don't recall doing that. So, I think things are already happening.
Employees tell me the ghosts are neat freaks. One of the main spirits at Myrtles is a slave named Chloe. She was killed after it was discovered she poisoned her owners. She was captured in this image 8 years ago. We wandered through the darkness to find some other haunts on the property.
We're walking up to the cabin. You'll see my spotlight on the ground.
This is where they say the caretaker ghost has been seen. A man in overalls, possibly with a straw hat.
Very scary place.
Ghost hunter Janice Rayleigh captured this image on her digital camera at the guest cottage. She took this photo in total darkness.
What it looks like are these like orbs are just like zooming around, and a lot of what we call ectoplasmic mist is over. You can't even see the cabin through it hardly, so it was pretty intense, and it was there 1 minute and then it's gone.
Janice says orbs are forms of energy, but she's not sure if they're ghosts. The activity heats up after 1 a.m. We set up a camera near the phantom playing piano. We didn't capture sweet music, but violent sounds. We recorded these thumps while this part of the Myrtles was actually empty. While sitting on the outside porch, we feel a tremendous rush of cold air. As you can see in this recreation, we followed the plantation cat Myrt to the parking lot. The only problem? Mert died 3 months ago. Webmaster Rick Garner snapped this digital photo in the darkness. There's no cat, but look at the orbs. Janice believes she saw Mert earlier in the night.
We got a picture of what looks like the cat in a tree over there by the cabin, and it's been my experience over the years that you will feel a cold or some kind of change.
We turned in very late, but the activity didn't stop. I captured some of it on video. Cold can be a sign of spirits. As we sleep, the strange noises intensify. Later, the camera picks up this whistling sound. Throughout the night, it records heavy footsteps. We determined the next morning that no one was actually up at that hour walking around. It could have been a ghost. Is the Myrtles Plantation haunted? We definitely experienced things that are hard to explain. Fortunately, the forces we dealt with were friendly and let us go in peace. The Myrtles is open to the public for tours, and it's also a bed and breakfast. But if you do spend the night, expect to hear plenty of things that go bump in the night. Folks, that will do it for this special Unexplained Haunts. You know, over the last year, we've seen some pretty scary things, and we'll continue to investigate the mysteries of the Southeast. Thanks for watching. In Search of the Unexplained, I'm Darren Dito.